Okay, hello my useless chickens, my epic penguins, and my flying dogs. Today we have the very first episode of the I've Lost My Marbles podcast, and we have a special guest today. Say hi.
I am lukeon twin, I think.
That's how you pronounce it.
Lukeon twin. I think he's done a video with me before, but I am here today to start the very first I Lost My Marbles podcast, so thanks for having me.
Yes. Yeah, well, thanks for coming on, man. Real quick, before we dive into all the news and garbage, I want to say I found his channel one day when, I think I was searching for, so I'm a Minty Maniacs fan, and I was searching for the Marble Showdown, like the Marble League Showdown, and I ended up finding the Buzz Circuit video, and I thought that was cool. And then I went back to the very first one and just binge watched the entire series. It took me like 5 minutes, but I like that. That's how, and I think, if I'm not wrong, you found my channel because of just the comment I left on the.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So this is just the podcast where we can talk about whatever we want to talk about, like own channels. We can talk about other channels, and we go as long as we want. This is a free podcast.
Yeah, I like that idea. So, I think we can start off by talking about the first two events of the AMR.
Oh, yep. I think that's a good idea. So first off, I made the series, and so. Why did I say that? It's not like my dog made it. No, I made the series, so I'm going to be talking about what it's like to make a series like this, because, like, I'm sure everyone and their mom has done some sort of Marble League, Marble Olympics type thing. And so, the thing is, though, I was a big M&H Racing fan before anything. And so then he didn't really do any sort of Marble League type thing. So I actually started out with just doing a bunch of random marble races on my old channel, which got deleted. It had like 60 subs. But, yeah, so the first event was the Funnel Rally, what were your initial thoughts?
It's an exciting race. It was obviously short and sweet. I obviously found my favorite marble. I'm going to be rooting for Dolphin.
Dolphin, yep. Well, I actually purposely put that in because you wanted to name the team the Dolphins, but also it was between him and Shark, and I was like, you know what, Dolphins are cuter.
Yeah.
Also, in the video somewhere, I'm not sure if I mentioned this, but I actually, I mentioned that Panda was inspired by Awesome Opossum. But I've had Panda since the middle of, this is really stupid, but during the last few days of school, I was like, hey, sports are canceled, so I'm going to make a marble run, which is where that's the origin of Lemonade, but Panda was in that as well. So that's, what about you? What made you start the league? Your league?
You see, I've actually been watching JMR for 3 years now. I've been here since the 2017 Marble League.
Dang.
And I really enjoyed it. I found my favorite teams. I have like 5 favorite teams that I root for.
Let's hear them.
Alright, Oceanics, Chocolatiers, Snowballs, Minty Maniacs, and there's one other. Oh, Rojo Rollers.
You know what's funny? From those teams, I can already tell that you stick with those teams in hard times.
Yes.
It's the exact same thing with me with the Maniacs. I saw everyone when they qualified on the Reddit, everyone was like, yeah, let's go Minty since the Snowballs didn't qualify. And I heard Cold for Gold, that hashtag, and I was like, get ready for a world of disappointment. And then they got third, so yeah, keep talking about how you made the league.
So, I've been watching JMR since 2017, and then when actual sports went out, because I also watch a ton of actual sports, I started watching JMR a lot more. And, I watched through the entire Marble League, and towards the end I was like, I actually have a few old marbles that I could use. So I found one 24mm marble and one small marble, and I started racing them down a little track I had that I set up, and I was like, you know what if I got like actual marbles to do this, and then
Were those not actual marbles?
Well, no, they were really scratched up, but
yeah,
what if I got actual high quality marbles and raced them down actual tracks? So I got a bunch of tracks like Hot Wheels and funnels, and I got a bunch of marbles like high quality marbles, and it's really fun making this.
My story is kind of the opposite. It's one day I saw it, and what I did was my for Christmas. No. So I've gotten in 3 different times. So I freaking love the movie Cars. I know a lot of people hate it, and that's how I found M&A Tracing. And then I saw they primarily did marbles, and then I got into Fubica because of the World Cup and stuff. And then the most recent time is because I actually went to the Discovery Museum and I played around with the funnels. Which is basically like a science center. I'm not sure if it's just in Nevada or if it's everywhere. But basically, oh, okay, yeah. So there's a lot of funnels there and like some high quality. And so I searched funnel racing, and that's how I got into the event, into JMRs. But I've been with M&A Tracing since 2017. But basically, and then I was like, man. So I got a bunch of stuff for that was right around Christmas, and so I got all the stuff for Christmas. Then my grandma ordered me like a 500 pack of marbles, which is where the majority of mine came from.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. And then I was obsessed with JMR for a few months, so I got like the Savage Speeders, which are roosters, but now I wish I'd just gotten like the normal Cardinals. Oh yeah, and if you're listening to this podcast out there and you're like, hey, I want to buy a team, I'm your guy. Just come comment on one of my videos or something. And then I got all those, and I was like, okay, I have all these marbles, and then I got the Marble League track, which actually, I need to clean that up. I need to clean my room today. But basically, I got the Marble League track and got all these cool marbles, and that's what actually kicked it off. But I had been doing mini leagues, it was pretty simple. I just got like a bunch, like 8 marbles, rolled them down a few tracks, and gave them points. And I had been doing that for like a few months prior, but it wasn't until summer of this year when I really started to kick it off, because I had all this free time, but I didn't know what to do with it. And so that's really what kicked my marble love off.
That makes sense. Summer has a lot of free time.
And then one last thing is that my cousin, he has a YouTube channel named Jonah Machines. Go subscribe. And basically, he loved watching marble racing with me, and he helped me come up with half the names. But like coincidentally, we called one of them Deep Ocean. We actually called one Crazy Cat's Eye without ever watching the Sand Rally. So I'm not sure. Or maybe I just watched it and forgot about it. I'm not sure, because I've recently been finding a bunch of like names. I'll look and I'll see. Hey, there's Cobra. I named one of my marbles Cobra. I don't know. But yeah, my cousin really was like, just because I was having so much fun doing it, that's why I started marble racing.
Yeah, I can tell. When you're having fun, there's not a lot you can do except, do that.
Oh, most definitely. Like, I've seen YouTube channels, I'm not going to say any names, but I've seen YouTube channels where they're very clearly just doing it for views, because they'll like put the event name in all capitals, and they'll be screaming at the beginning, and they'll be like, oh my gosh, this is gonna, and then they put stuff like, will your marble win intense race, all 16, and then they'll put a thumbnail that's not even in the video, ever.
Yeah,
I've
seen a few.
Yeah, So that's how we both got into marbles and stuff, and I'm sorry I'm kind of just hogging the podcast, but so what we're...
That's good.
It's our podcast, inserts the communism sign, but basically, now let's move on to not our stuff. Oh, wait, we didn't talk about AML, and we also need to talk about Marble Showdown. So the first two events of AML, like, obviously, we got the names, Oh, here's a suggestion for you. I think your videos are really good. And like I said, turn on some lights, but you like, most of the problems I actually found were in the very first few races, but then you fixed them as you went along, kind of like Fubica's did. And so basically, I think all it needs is some music in the background, and then boom, golden. But yeah.
Sure, I could do that. I have a really handy app that I could use. I'm probably going to do some dramatic music for the final event. You know?
Oh yeah. Are there going to be 12 events?
There is going to be 12 events. Event 11 is coming out a few hours after we record this.
Yes, too.
It's very exciting. It's a twist winner. It's Marble who hasn't really done well in these types of events. So
Cyan Sky. Watch Cyan Sky come out and just completely kill everyone. Or like Giant Squid. Wait, is Giant Squid still in contention? Hold on. I'm gonna need to check this.
No,
real quick.
currently there are only marbles who are no.
You're done with your homework, so okay, Melissa.
Not right now. Hold on.
Galactica.
Okay, well, I'm glad Frog's Eye is still in this. Frog's Eye is my boy.
I have one of my friends who, which is my channel, also has a favorite that is Frog's Eye. Anyways, about the actual AMR, I was very impressed with Verde in the nature race.
Yes.
So his technique in the final against Dolphin was pretty great. He didn't want to get too far ahead and expend all the energy just to have Dolphin come back at the end.
That would have been.
He wanted to make the run smooth. He didn't want to get too far ahead of Dolphin, and he kept just in front of Dolphin the entire race. And doing that is a pretty great strategy. It's a safe strategy. Just making sure that Dolphin doesn't pass you is pretty good. Although it is kind of risky staying too close behind to Dolphin.
Yeah, the hazers.
I think it's a great strategy.
I think I think it was Team Momo who did that in the Razway of Marbula 1. They tried to stay too close, and then the hazers pinned him down.
Yeah, but it obviously worked for Verde, a gold medal. And also Dolphin too, lying low for the first few races and then really coming out and challenging for the lead. Dolphin getting the silver medal, obviously.
Yeah, that moved him up into 4th place. I also realized the standings are kind of blurry, so I might make a link to that in the comments soon.
That's the thing that I do.
Yeah, I actually make some of my older events, which I'm still not proud of, like I made in the summer, that weren't for school. I actually have a scoreboard for those. I used to just use a notebook, and then I had to draw out an entire scoreboard. So now I use keepthescore.com.
I use Google Sheets.
Yeah, I might link it so the people can see it better. But other than I have a question for you. What separates the good marble channels from the bad ones to the great ones? Which, besides obviously how good the camera work is and how professional it looks.
Yeah, the quality and stuff, because, for us, it's just starting. We're not going to have the greatest quality, but for me, it's really how much you put into it. Do you really, put passion into it? Do you do it just for views? Or, so, obviously the bad ones are ones who just do it for views. Obviously, we've already said, ones who don't put in actual, like, their hearts into this project. They just do it for views.
Well,
And then
actually, I'm gonna stop
are
you
the
right
ones who
there.
care about the thing.
Real quick, I just wanted to say that you don't have to put your soul into it to make a good video. Like I said, my cousin and I think it's also pouring your soul into it, but also just having fun with the video.
Exactly. So that's to my next category. The good category is who just have fun with their videos. Me, you, and
The red marble.
a bunch of other people. And then obviously
like
the great is the ones who, yeah.
Yeah, and all those guys. Yep.
And then the great is like JMR, MSPN, who make this a real thing that people really like to enjoy. It is.
Dude, that'd be so cool. It's just like, imagine that guy's never gonna get married though, because imagine him trying to explain to one of his friends, like, what do you do? I race marbles. The thing is though, you can't show them you race marbles, because I told that to some of my friends and they all laughed at me. You gotta like show them a video of like Marbular 1, and then you'll see that. And then you'll see how easily they get hooked.
Yeah. When I found that in my YouTube recommendations a few years back, I was immediately hooked. It was great.
Oh yeah, that's the beauty of it though. It's like I'm really reminded of a movie, but I'm not sure where he is. Or he's just like what is, and then he just like looks into the portal and then he flies in. I think it's the end of Wreck-It Ralph where King Candy is just like, no, stay away from the light, and then slowly drifts in. That's what it reminds me of, is because you're just like, it sucks. Go Rangers! What I really like about your videos, though, that I try to incorporate in my videos, is I'm trying to make all these universes connected. So, like, you have Red Number 3 and Rastafarian watching your videos, in the videos, and I think that's really cool, because, as you can see, like, Marble Fubica, MSPN, and M&H Racing, they all pretend they're the only Marble YouTuber out there but like, that's why some of the smaller channels are doing better, is because they all work together. Versus the big ones who have kind of declared war on each other.
Well, that's why I love how MSPN and Marble Fubica work together. It's pretty great.
Are they still doing that?
Pretty sure. I was actually just watching Marble Fubica, and Ricochet was.
Yeah, but didn't they? Didn't they mention though that that wasn't like that? His name isn't Rick O'Shea. That's why they changed his name to like Keanu Burditsky. Sorry if you're watching the. I think they would. Yeah.
Obviously, that's just an alias.
I know, he says his real name, he doesn't say Rick O'Shea, and in his server he said this is not a partnership, we're just trying to help a boy out. I'm not sure when he said that, but, basically that's, I'm not sure they're still in a partnership, but if they are, that'd be, but yeah, when they had MSPN Live, that's really what made me happy. Until the hand popped up. Oh, the hand. But I still think Fubica makes good videos.
Me too. They're pretty great. As I was saying, I just watched one. It was good. It was the one with motorboats.
Oh yeah, the country stuff was really what got me hooked, and not the Marvel, because like I liked how Rick O'Shea. I didn't get that joke because I didn't know what a ricochet was. I knew what ESPN was, but it looked like what the football game my grandpa was watching.
Yeah.
It just looked so professional, and I think I'm the only person on planet Earth who didn't see this and go, "What is this?" and then proceed to fall in love with it. No, I saw it and I was like, okay, and then I didn't really question it. I just was like, yes.
Yeah, a comment I saw on one of JMR's videos pretty much sums it up perfectly.
1 minute.
When I click on it at the start, YouTube recommendations. What is this? In the middle, this is pretty good. Go Team Galactic. And at the end, where can I buy the season ticket?
Yeah, I don't think I've seen that comment, but I've seen some similar, like, at the beginning of the video. What is this? Why would everybody watch this? And then in the middle of the video, he's like, oh man, the Thunderbolts got robbed. Why? Why would... I think that was in the underwater race for the very first event, yeah. So, what do you... So, yes, and then... Marble... Okay, yeah, let's get into Marble Showdown. So, Marble Showdown is the series that he made, and basically it's like JMR, but it has a small twist to it. Like, if you look, you want to know why what sets your channel above everyone else's is you didn't use a bathtub for the underwater race.
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
I don't have very high quality bathtubs.
Well, the thing is, though, I really don't like that when people just use a bathtub. Like, it's okay when the Lucky Titan did it, because he's expressed that he only wants to be seen as a parody of the Marble League. But, like, when other people are like, oh yeah, this is intense, I might actually go buy an aquarium. But my plan right now is I just bought an old drawer. Like, I'm not sure if you know, like, you know how there's little miniature dressers that are plastic? I got a really big one of those and just use one of the plastic drawers, and I'm going to use that. But yeah, I don't think the bathtub looks professional, but I'm not trying to look professional. You see, I don't make these videos for other people. I make them because I have fun making them, and because I want my grandparents, and I make them for my grandparents, because my granddad's really missing football right now.
Yeah, my grandma watches my videos too.
That's always the best, yeah.
She's all the way on the East Coast. But I love how my dad and my grandma and, well, not my sister, she does not like it.
Of course, but
I love how
that's a sister's job, is to just to not like whatever you like.
helpful criticism.
Yes, but the thing is, sometimes it's not helpful anymore. But maybe we have different sisters. Or wait, of course we have different. Why did I say that? No, yeah. Everyone in my family likes it except for my sister, but she doesn't. But she helps me make it, so maybe that's why she doesn't like it. It's like, but she won't do much. She'll just like hold the camera or like let the marbles go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, now let's actually talk about Marble Showdown.
Okay.
So, in the event that hasn't been released yet, so no spoilers. I'm trying to remember who did well. Let's see, what event was it?
It was the meter. Oh wait, are you talking about the elimination race or the meter sprint?
Oh, the elimination race.
Okay.
So in the elimination race, Galactica got gold, and they are now in second place, behind Poseidon, of course. And Poseidon has 19-point lead, I believe.
Hey, I have a question real quick. Do you match those two up against each other so much on purpose? Because I remember the heart and soul of line navigation was that they kept fighting. Or is that just like...
it's actually pretty random, but I've noticed that they've been together, including this next race, 4 times.
Well, maybe it's just because they like keep advancing out of their heats, and that's why. Because they both advance. Because I've seen races like that, where in like the underwater race, where they the top 2 advance, and then those top 2 keep advancing until the very finals, and one of them wins.
Yeah. Well, that's not as exciting. So you want to pit like the best 2 against each other.
I don't do that. I do it mostly randomly, which I think is the best way. But I think if you pin the 2 against each other, one of them's gonna get like 9th place, and the other is gonna go on to win.
Yeah, I don't actually try to do that, but I think it actually is more exciting. I try to do it randomly as well.
Yeah. Yeah, that's I know, but like I whenever I see those two fight each other, I definitely think they're the two big boys, or the two.
Yeah.
Wait, Galactica's a girl. Never mind. But I think they're the two like titans of the Marvel Showdown. And
don't count out Gold Rust though.
Gold. I didn't have Gold Rust very high, but I think I was like Gold Rust is gonna do okay, like maybe 9th place, but no, Gold Rust is really. The thing is though, I have a bunch of what you guys would call Gold Rusts. I have a bunch of them, and none of them ever do well, so maybe that's why.
Oh. Well, Gold Rust, it's been his consistency. Obviously, he doesn't have that many medals. Going into this, he only has 1 gold and 1 silver. But he just has crazy consistency, and that's what's keeping him in 2nd and 3rd, obviously. And he had a great showing in balancing, obviously beating everyone else by a long shot, and being one of 2 marbles to break the 100 centimeter mark.
That's hard to do. I've seen like Galactica got tripped up at the very first hole.
The first obstacle?
Yeah, and so
mental errors, I guess.
Perhaps it was the pressure of going first in an event, like, because most of the balancings in the marble sports community are all the same. It's just a long beam, 1 marble, where all the marbles go down, but this one has obstacles in it, and it's also measured in centimeters, which I don't think makes too much of a difference. And wait, did you measure it of when they fall, or how far they fall after they, like, when they fell off, or
much momentum, it's where they fall off. So
okay,
basically, if you can get enough momentum, fall off, and then go an extra 5 centimeters, you're getting those 5 centimeters.
Okay, yeah, I think that's a good twist added to it, because also those little obstacles, if you, like, let's say you don't fall into one, but you slightly touch it, you're going to be going in the direction that it sent you, and so perhaps you can use that to your advantage.
Yeah. If you analyze it, Gold Rust, in his amazing run, he actually had a great first showing. So what happened was, he was going along the balance beam. It was going along the balance beam, but then he got dangerously close to the edge. But then he used one of the obstacles and rode the circle to get an extra, I don't know, 40 centimeters or so.
Yeah, I saw that. I also saw something similar with the Hornets in one of the balancings. Like, the Hornets saw that all the marbles were falling off to one side, so they purposely went to the other side to try to crawl back. Perhaps he took inspiration from that. Maybe.
Although this one was probably a lot more technical than strategy.
Oh yeah.
But
it's also a lot harder because it's just you, and you can't focus on, and you can't be carried by the rest of your team.
Yeah.
Because you'll see the Rojo Rollers in the Marble League Showdown, the last event. You'll see that they all fell off extremely early, but because they were already qualified, and B, they all like bunched up, and they didn't. But because they all got 50, it still ended up being a good total. Not a good total, but it still would have been better. Like, teamwork is better than having one team carry. Team Galactic.
Starry.
Yeah, Starry's just like Starry's gotten every single gold besides maybe 2 for Team Galactic. And that's why Starry is the MVP, because I bet you can't name like 3 of the people on the Limers.
The only one I know is Lime and Slime Lime.
I have like 6, but I think I made most of these up in my head. There's Goo Lime, Slime Lime, Lemon Lime, Sublime, Lime, and then I made up Lime Line. But that's a different story.
I think you're right. I think those are the Limers' names. Anyways, talking about who came second in events in the elimination race, Tigress was impressive, advancing in the last round, being the last of her heat to advance.
Ooh, hey,
and then
real quick.
taking surprise second.
I'm super sorry to interrupt, but I realized that Tigress won Tigress was known for being fast, but killed herself in the dash, losing to Frog's Eye. Perhaps in the meter dash, perhaps she can redeem herself. But I don't think she's.
Perhaps.
I don't think she's going to be in contention to win after this, though. She, like you said, she needed a lot. Like she needed. Here, let me try to find it. But it's. You were like, oh yeah.
Poseidon needs to finish in dead last, both events, and she needs to finish in first, both events. She needs the literal best outcome ever to win.
Yes, and if I'm not mistaken, Gold Rust and Galactica also need to finish quite low. Actually...
Yes, but that's not as emphasis because, Poseidon has such a big lead.
Oh, yeah.
Already.
Yeah.
Not so much emphasis on that. Obviously, if Galactica is gonna come second in, obviously, if Galactica is gonna come second both times, it's gonna be Galactica that wins instead of Tigress.
Well, yeah, obviously, oh, well, of course, that's like, remember at the end of ML20 where everyone was like, what if the Midnight Wisps win?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, this is kind of her situation as well. They needed to win, but they also needed the O'Rangers and Savage Speeders to, like, I don't remember the exact placements, but they didn't need them to finish. So, I think
a medal.
Yeah, I think that if, I don't think Tigress is going to be in contention to win.
After this event?
No. Unless all the odds turn out and, like, all the stars in Galactica's marble align and we see that Tigress wins 8 new records. I don't think so.
8 new records in 2 events. I don't think it's going to happen. Anyways.
Moving on. So we're 30 minutes... Real quick, we're just 30 minutes into this. We're 30 minutes into this, so I don't know when you want to end, or if you... I think we should try to wrap it up at about an hour, but we can go as long as we want, because this is the Great Marble podcast. So, okay, what should we talk about now?
So, I want to say, another marble that's shown in the elimination race was Awesome Opossum.
Oh yeah, dude. I kind of forgot he existed. Same thing with Giant Squid. I kind of just forgot they existed until this race. Giant Squid less, of course, but
they got event 11. When you see their record, they've been kind of coming back a little.
Like Team Momo, basically.
Yeah, so they started out, I wouldn't say mid-pack. They started out in, 12th.
That's the bottom corner.
They went down, and then by event 4 and through event 5, they were in last. And then they get 2 straight bronzes in event 6 and event 7. And that catapults them up to, let's see, what position is that? Catapults them up to 9th. And then they have 2 straight bad events, and then they get another bronze medal in the elimination race, and that catapults them up to, let's see, what position is that? 10th.
Yeah, I definitely think What if Awesome Opossum just wins the last 2 events? That'd be funny. It'd be funny if just...
It's a little strange.
You know what'd be really funny? I know this probably didn't happen, but what if Tigress won the remaining 2 events and in the very last event Poseidon got 15th? That'd be
the ultimate.
That's disrespect.
I know. Alright, well, how about looking at someone who did bad in the elimination race? Someone who was eliminated first round.
Wasn't Tigress
Science Guy.
Oh, Well, I mean, I didn't expect anything better from him. He's the only Marvel to go without a medal.
Yeah. No, Science Guy actually does have a medal. I need to find which one.
Oh.
Science Guy has 1 silver medal. I'm trying to find where it could be.
I think it's the buzz circuit because that's the when you were introducing him, you were like, oh, Cyan Sky does not have a medal, and then I think he was in the finals.
Could be, but I think it's right here. I think it's event 2. I think it's the underwater race. Because looking at Cyan Sky's record, I keep a record of where every marble was. They went up like 5 spots, and then ever since then, they've been either staying the same or going down.
Oh man, it's tough for Cyan Sky. But I'm confident later in the season, everyone is so focused on the top marbles, like and so no one even notices them. And I think since there's no pressure on those lower marbles, now it's going to be their time to maybe grab a few medals, like the Balls of Chaos.
Yeah, how they did in the 2020 Marble League. Another team, so Dijon also got dead last in the elimination race, and it was just because I think it was, I'm not sure what it was, because they stopped at the downhill part. They stopped at the downhill part of race, and right now, after the elimination race, they're sitting in 13th. But obviously, Dijon had such a great start, a bronze medal in the funnel race to start off the season, and they've been gradually, you know, they were a bit inconsistent for a while in the mid events, and now they're just gradually slipping down the order.
Okay. Yeah, dude, that's always tough. Is when you lose. And one of my deleted Marble Leagues, my very first one, where I just copied every single name in the book. I might still have it. I made it last summer. But basically, there's the team called the Pizza Rollers, and they slowly, like, they were 1 point ahead of the Gracers, and basically they just slowly declined. And then they got a last place, and that was the end for them. So it shows consistency is better than early success.
Definitely. Obviously, the O-Rangers, I think they got either 0 or a medal.
Yeah, they got last place. They got last place in collision. They got last place in collision. That's when the Savage Speeders got first, and in the aquathlon they lost to the Oceanics, and the Savage Speeders got second. So I think that's just like a random. I think that's really just the Savage Speeders knowing that this was their last chance, and so they.
That's really great.
And the Rangers. You know what's funny though is I feel like I know this wouldn't work, but I wonder what would happen if you put the events backward. For example, you gave the Minty Maniacs the win, but called the marathon the first event, and then do you think? I know it wouldn't be different, but it would seem a lot more different.
I know. It'd be like the Savage Speeders at the end almost choked, just because, you know, they did so well in later events, but they started off with a 14th and 15th place finish.
Oh, wait, you know how they got
It
like...
seemed like they almost choked.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, that means the Rangers, it'd be like Tigris' story now. The Rangers would have to wield some powerful magic, and all the Savage Speeders would have to do is knock it last both times, and yet... So maybe that's what would have happened if you played it backward. But yeah, I'm actually gonna I tried to do that with Marbula 1 once, and I got bored at the Greenstone circuit because nothing was happening.
So, there's one more competitor I want to take a look at before we move on, and it's Shining Silver. So, Shining Silver...
Deep rivalry with Poseidon.
Huh?
I like how you said the deep rivalry with Poseidon, and yet he's nowhere near Poseidon.
True. I kind of just made all that stuff up.
Yeah, dude, that's completely fine. But that's like saying that's kind of like saying the Hornets have a rivalry with the Rangers, and I thought that'd be. Yeah, it's fine if you make that kind of stuff up for lore. I do that all the time, but.
More purposes?
But Game theory.
Yeah.
But yes, so who did you want to take a look at? Hello? Are you good, fam? I think he died. I think he died.
Disconnected.
Oh, I thought you died. Okay,
Anyways,
that's saying it. I'm not editing that out. But here we go. Who did you want to take a look at?
What I was saying was, Shining Silver, at this point, they're bouncing around bottom in, like, events 2 to 6. And in the middle of event 6, in the quarterfinals, they get injured. And so they go into event 8, bottom of the standings, just coming back from an injury, and they win the whole thing. Then they obviously continue their bad run of form, and they are currently sitting in last.
Yeah, dude,
It's just been an emotional roller coaster for Shining Silver, and hopefully it's the last event, or it will be the last event, and hopefully they can turn some stuff around.
Yeah, I really think that Shining Silver was given so many opportunities. Like, if you looked at the heat races from the earlier events, he was placed with none of the big guys. Like, Tigress, Galactica, and Poseidon, it always worked out that they were in other heats, and I just think that Shining Silver could not really capitalize off of it. Perhaps he overestimated it.
Yeah, we didn't really know that Poseidon, Frog's Eye, Gold Rust, Galactica, those would be the big hitters for this season.
Yeah, or perhaps he was so focused on beating Poseidon that he slowly got carried away and couldn't beat anyone else.
Yeah. Obviously, Snow Swirl and Sweet Tooth are is the big rivalry right now.
Yeah, so,
those two have been bouncing around the standings. They started off episode 1, they started off event 1, just 1 point, and then Sweet Tooth, and then they take turns being in front of each other and behind each other. And as we go into event 11, they're currently, Sweet Tooth is in the lead over Snow Swirl, and they're both mid-pack.
Yeah, I think Sweet Tooth and Snow Swirl is the only rivalry that's actually...
Making sense.
Yeah, that actually is still going. Because obviously Shining Silver's at the bottom, Poseidon's at the top. That's like the Limers and the Raspberry Racers. But then you also got, but then these two... You see, it's not a Titan, it's not it's not heavy hitters rivalry, but it's still a rivalry. Like, if you watched Marble Circuits, Arrow, Frog, and Sparky kept fighting, I think it was those two. But, like, I think that's a bigger rivalry because you're not trying to finish ahead of everyone else, you're just trying to finish in front of your competitor, and that ultimately makes you a lot better.
Yeah. It's kind of like, as you previously mentioned, the Limers have a rivalry with the Raspberry Racers, which kind of represents Shining Silver and Poseidon. And then Sweet Tooth and Snow Swirl have a deeper rivalry, and that's kind of more the Hornets and Bumblebees level.
Oh yeah, the Hornets and Bumblebees. You see, they were good in the B League. But perhaps that maybe... Do you think in, like... I don't know if you had... you didn't have qualifiers, but... Okay, real quick. For my league, I've done a few. I do qualifiers off camera. Like, I auto-qualify who I know needs to be. But then I also have a quick qualifier to see who else will be in it. So perhaps if you did one of those, or maybe it got to their head, and that's why they weren't doing as good.
Originally, I only had a few marbles, so those were my immediate qualifiers. And then I started to expand to more marbles. I, of course, have more marbles than the audience. And I have all those guys now, and next year, besides the 4 top marbles from the 2020 Marble Showdown, I'm going to take all the new marbles and I'm going to put them in a 2018 marble
with the
style
groups,
qualifier.
with the groups.
Yeah. So, 3 groups of 8, and the top 4 from each group advance to the actual event, and then in 2021, the bottom 4 from the A League and the top 4 from the B League switch places. So it's going to be a promotion relegation system.
Man, that you know what's funny is that sounds like an actual sport. Hey, are you gonna do or do you, if you might not have thought about this yet, but I actually might do 6 qualifier events because I've heard on the Marble Sports Worldwide podcast, I've heard them talk about how 4 qualifiers really isn't enough, and I agree. But I think that people, you know what's funny is I've seen some, like, the deeper you get into marble sports, you'll find random, just little, I'm not talking about anyone in our littles, but it's just like 5-year-olds copying every other name with their old marble run that grandma gave them when they were 5. What point was I trying to make here?
I have no idea.
Yeah, no. What were you talking about? Okay. Okay, by the way, expect that a lot, because I'm going to do that a lot, but I'm not sure what point I was trying to make. But it was... Oh my gosh. Okay, go back to whatever you were talking about, and maybe I'll remember.
Alright, well, the last thing I remember us talking about was the rivalries, but I'm pretty sure we're done talking about... Oh yeah, the promotion relegation system of the showdown. That's how I plan to do it in future years. The bottom 4 demoted and the top 4 promoted. So kind of like, because I watch a lot of Premier League and Bundesliga, which is the German soccer league.
Whoa.
And they obviously have a promotion relegation system, which I really, really like. It's like, not only is there a battle for the top title, but there's also a battle for relegation. So not only are you focusing on the top teams, but you're also focusing on the bottom teams as well.
Okay, yeah, that's what so I think I kind of remember, but I completely went off on a different tangent. But basically, like I was saying, was 6 qualifiers. I think would be the best because as you saw in I think it was the 2018 qualifiers, some of the teams that were toward the bottom really seemed to claw it back in the last event, and I think if they could have kept that going, then they might have qualified and possibly won it, and so that's what I'm gonna do. And then
I think you're talking about the 2018 qualifiers.
Did I say 2019?
You said I think you're talking about some other qualifiers because I don't think it's 2018. I remember the Oceanics being like
when they were in the groups.
Okay, then I haven't watched the qualifiers in a while, so I'm not sure.
Okay, but basically teams like the Quicksilvers and the Gliding Glaciers, which I might just make the Marble documentaries, I might make one about the Gliding Glaciers that's just 30 seconds long called We Were Bad But Now We're Bad, and it's basically just going to be about how they didn't qualify and then retired. But like Gliding Glaciers and then the Quicksilvers and remember Team Plasma?
Oh yeah,
Team Plasma. Team Plasma.
I really thought
Team Plasma would have qualified if they had like maybe 1 or 2 more points, and same thing with Team Primary.
Well, they kind of got a second chance with Team Momary, but
yeah, but then they got 12th, so I don't think you can call that a second chance. You know what's funny though?
I mean,
up until then, Momo got like 4th, and then they got. Was it? I don't remember what they got in the end, but then 12th. That's even worse with Momary.
No.
And then when they were done, they didn't qualify. But I think you can put that like neither Primary nor Momo qualified the next year. But as you can see, Momo's back on the rise.
And they had a really promising showing this year.
Yeah.
They had a good few
midstring events. Kind of like the Oceanics had a straight gold, silver, and bronze medal, if you count out the black hole funnel.
Yeah, I remember that. When they won on the sand race. That was funny.
I was screaming my head off because the Oceanics are my main team.
Yeah, I know. Well, we've kind of had some. We have similar teams. The only thing is though, like the Oceanics, they've. A lot of people have been saying that the 2019 was a fluke and they should get back to it. But if you look at the records, none of them, they didn't do good in the 2 years before that. And
I know, we've been mostly mid-pack.
Yeah, and I think that was the only top half finish. So I picked the Green Ducks, not because like I saw them. No, it's because my stepmom's from Oregon and her favorite color is green, and the school she went to has their mascot a duck, and I was like, Green Ducks. Hey, that sounds like Oregon.
Yeah, the Oregon Ducks.
Yeah, the Oregon Ducks.
Yeah.
And so I was like, and I love Oregon. It's a great state. It's very pretty. Unlike here, where it's just casinos and smoke. But basically, Oregon's my favorite state that I've been to. So I was like, hey, Green Ducks, that sounds cool. And then they almost won the championship, and I was so sad. And then this year they just completely died.
Yeah, no medals.
No medals.
That's like
best finish.
Only a few teams have ever done that. I think it was only the 2019 Oceanics, the 2020. Who?
It was the Hornets.
2020 Hornets, and then the 2020 Green Ducks.
Yes, I think that the Pinkies got a bronze. Never mind. The Pinkies are garbage. I actually think they're less garbage than people make them out to be, because like they've qualified for every league except for this one.
I know.
Yeah, but then they didn't qualify for this one, so I'm sad.
And they did get a solid 6th place finish.
Yeah, the only thing with that 6th place finish is that they mostly choked that away toward the end, and you gotta remember there was 12 events, and they were kind of on the downward trajectory anyway. Because if you rewatch 2017, you'll see.
16.
Yeah, but if you rewatch the 2017 year, you'll see that you've got Chocolatiers, Primary, and Pinkies toward the top, and then Primary finished 14th, Chocolatiers finished 12th, I think, and Pinkies got 6th, but they got like last and 15th the last few events. So I really think the 16 event was a good change, because I know you're doing 12, and this is nothing against you, but I think 12 is it's cool, but it's just kind of a random number. 8 is half the events, which is half the competitors. 16 is how many competitors there are, which means one will win each. And then 12 is... Do you think he just decided he didn't want to keep making them in 2016, so that's why he had 12?
No, because Greg Woods even said this is the final event.
I know.
So,
yeah. But do you think in event 10 he's like, man, I'm running out of ideas?
That's kind of what happened to me. I can't. I have an idea for the final event, and like that's it.
My plan for the final event is kind of like a marathon, but it's not going to be with the tracks. It's going to be I'm just going to use all my tracks, which I have a lot. I can make some pretty big ones. But I might just use all those, send all the marbles down. And those are some of my favorite events, like the tower. Those are my favorites because of how much chaos happens in them.
So I really like when the final event is a short race. I don't like it when it's the sand rally, and that's why I loved the hurdles race in 2016. And I would say I love the moguls if the Oceanics hadn't choked.
Yeah, that's how I feel about Mobula 1. Real quick, it's like the Green Ducks were doing so good in the beginning, but then just...
And they could have had a title push.
Oh yeah, then they just completely died. And that's why I don't really like Nebula 1, but looking back, now that I also like Team Primary and Leo Rangers, like, now I like it again. So...
I mean, Team Primary was also kind of talking point for Nebula 1, just because, Mary... I have a theory that Greg Woods is Mary, and Mary was just trying to commentate the race while racing. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh, yeah, me neither. Or if you look at the Hive Drive, Billy and Mary were in the back of the pack, so do I sense romance back there?
Enough about that.
Yeah, my brain is going wild, and I'm not sure, like, my brain is thinking, what would a baby marble look like, and how does it get bigger? But we're diving too deep. Let's go back to talking about whatever we were talking about.
Right. So, I think we've done enough about the Marble Showdown.
Yeah, we've done enough about our leagues. All I'm going to say, though, is I think Gold Rust is going to win the championship because of his upward trajectory.
I mean, cutting out Event 11, because I've already told because that's spoiler alert. I'm going to say that ever since, Event 5, before Event 5, Gold Rust actually started the season with a second to last place finish, only getting 2 points. And then, got better. In Event 2, he rose mid-pack, and then after that, obviously we've already talked about Event 5, he had a great showing in balancing, and after that, he stuck around the top 3.
Yeah, it's that consistency, though, that's gonna...
Yeah, if you get a great uplift to the top 3, and then if Poseidon and Galactica waste so much time on each other, and then Gold Rust, gets like, and Gold Rust gets a solid like 4th place finish. Say Poseidon and Galactica both get bottom half. Gold Rust is definitely in contention for the title.
Oh, most definitely. Gold Rust is my prediction for the win because I'm sure Poseidon's if he doesn't completely choke this away, he's gonna be in the lead for the final event. And as long as he can keep that steady, he's gonna feel all the pressure.
Right.
But that's
so. If we're gonna conclude this, first podcast episode right now, say my prediction, Poseidon. Poseidon obviously has a great lead over Galactica right now, and if you look at what actually happened, got a silver medal in episode 1, event run, a great way to start, and has 143 points right now, is in the lead by a great deal. So, Poseidon has never been outside the top 2. And, what's it called? And they have some great consistency. I think they've only finished outside of the top 8 once.
Yeah.
And it's only been Galactica's medals and Gold Rust's also pretty good consistency that's kept them in the running for the title. And Fog's Eye has also held up down there, but Fog's Eye's attention has mainly been back down towards, Barry Blend, who is definitely trying to get it in.
Barry Blend's gonna win Marble Showdown 2021. That's my prediction. But
I mean, Barry Blend has only been doing good because they got a gold medal in episode 2. Apparently they can swim.
Do you think can you tell us what the finale is going to be? Or do you not know yet, or do you want to keep that private?
Well, I am quite confident that it's going to be outside.
Oh, yeah.
It's gonna be like the moguls.
I have a sand dune track next to I have like the hill he has, but it's a lot steeper and it's a lot smaller. And that's probably what I'm going to make a sand race for. I could probably make one for you too. But basically what's going to happen is the marbles are going to race down in little heats. But yeah, this has turns, and I think it's really cool to have this little sand rally track. And that's probably going to be my final event, but I really want my final event to be like a marathon or a triathlon.
I didn't like the marathon so much. I thought it was...
Yeah, I thought it was kind of stupid.
Like, when Ocean's started on the pole position, I was like, you know what? Ocean's going to finish in like 10th, because...
The start of the Oceanics.
When have you ever seen, in marble sports, when have you ever seen marble with a pole position win?
Midnight Bay Savage Speeders. No, I'm just... No, but yeah, that's what that's my only problem with like glass car and stuff, is there's too much going on.
Glass car, I really liked glass car. I watched it the entire way through.
I don't really follow glass car because A, the hand, and B, because I just really liked marble circuits more. I just think the track was too, like, because of how wide the track was, there was too much passing, and I know that's the marble's fault and not his, but I think the smaller the track, the more intense it is. I don't know where I'm going with this, but my point is that the marbles, I think that if you start out with a lead, you shouldn't have to drop to 15. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. That's why I love the sand marble rally so much.
You just said you didn't like... Oh, you meant the event. Oh, okay, never mind.
No, I didn't like the marble rally event in Marble League as a final event. But I really like the actual sand marble rally because
Go comment.
It's short, it's sweet, and it has a lot of twists and turns and passes, and your marble, if they start in a good position, they're going to, like, say they start in the best position in the entire thing,
Fifth.
They're going to place, usually, if they don't DNF, between positions 1 and 7.
Did you figure that out?
No, but, like, I've noticed, whenever I cheer for Super Bowl, or Red Number 3, or even Eagles, when I notice they're in the best position, I usually root for them, and they still get a top half finish.
Huh. Yeah, I know.
It all really depends on the course.
I've also kind of noticed that 5th place or 6th place is the best position to start. Because, like, you don't have to hit the wall. I think that they should start out... You know those long sections where old Red Number 3 used to just... You know, where it gets really big and the marbles go 100,000 miles an hour? I think they should start out with that and then proceed to go into the little slalom thingy. Because that way, even the marbles in the back can kind of fling around a little bit.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Hey, I have a question for you. What's your favorite marble rally, the obstacle that's not made out of sand?
Obstacle. I like, I'm gonna have to think about this. I like it, they had this in 2017, where the marble, there would be a bunch of balls planted, and if a marble hit one,
yeah, I like those.
Start rolling, and it was just chaos. I really like that.
That's my favorite too, especially in the last race when they did the little spinner on top of the bridge, and then they hit the little arrow thingy, and then they went to the ball section, and I freaking loved that race. Yeah.
You know, speaking of which, I got a notification a few minutes ago that the Sand Marble Rally is starting in a few minutes, so I think we should wrap up.
Yeah, this is an hour. Red, if you want to guest, comment on this video, or go to his channel, or go to my channel, or whatever.